everyone, it's Sharonda from Pay or Wait, and today we're going to be reviewing Big Little Lies Season 2, Episode 4, She Knows. And let me tell you what I do know. I do know you better stop shorting me my 15 minutes, okay? Because this is another 45-minute episode. I think it's supposed to be for an hour, and I just take issue with that. It's not like we get that many episodes. It's a limited series, so I expect these episodes to be a full 60 minutes, okay? Let's not have this happen again. I feel like we're having this discussion a little bit too much, and it's starting to make me upset. So another shout out. Hey guys, thank you everyone who's donated to my Comic-Con GoFundMe, trying to raise coins to be able to go to Comic-Con as press and cover it. If you guys can share the link, donate, do anything that you can do, I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll include it in the description section below. So let's go ahead and get into this episode. I got my feelings about how tonight's episode went. Like, a lot happened, but not really. A lot happened only for Mary Louise and Celeste, and so I'll save those two for last because that's where all the tea basically is. But in the meantime, I think we can start off by talking about Jane. So Jane is still dating Corey, and so essentially she invites Corey to Amabel, well, how you say that girl? Y'all know who I'm talking about, Renata's daughter's disco birthday party. And so, you know, the girls being all extra like, oh girl, he cute. And then she's like, don't make me regret telling you guys. And I knew exactly how she felt. And so her and Corey, they're dancing, they're having a good time. However, as she kind of starts to get comfortable with Corey, she has a flashback to, you know, the rape. And so she goes outside, and then eventually Corey comes looking for her, and she tells him, you know, what happened, and he just holds her hand. And Corey is just so nice. I just like them together. He's still weird, but you know what? He's weird in a good way for her. So also too, she's having this conversation with Celeste because, you know, they've both been dealing with the same person, didn't know it. But she asked her, how has she been able to be sexual? Like, has she had any issues? Has Perry ever tried to rape her? And so Celeste lies because he obviously has, and she tells her no. So also too, because of this whole situation that's happening with the custody thing, Jane goes to confront Mary Louise and basically tells her, like, are you gonna try to take my kid too? And then she was like, no, like, you're a good mother. Like, it's not about you. I really fear for my grandchildren. And so what if she was driving your son around, and even she had to stop and think, like, I mean, girl, your friend be taking Ambien and don't be knowing where she at, what she doing. I'm Team Celeste, but those kids are a little bit in danger. Whether anybody wants to admit it, I'll be the one to say it for everyone. Yeah, Mary Louise, she ain't ish, but she definitely got a point here. But we're not gonna get into Mary Louise yet. I just really want to, that's really all that's going on with Jane. Like, they gave her more to do, but I don't know, I just don't find her storyline that interesting outside of her trying to cope and move forward with getting over what happened with her with Perry and really trying to push forward with her life. So I guess I do appreciate that aspect of her storyline, but they really haven't given her anything else to do outside of dating Corey. So maybe I'm just a sucker. I just won't mess. I'm just petty and I won't mess, and she happy. It's like when your favorite musician is happy, you know you ain't gonna have no good album, but when they break up, you know that album about to be on point, and that's how I feel about Jane right now. So we'll talk about Renata, who is one of my faves this season. So Renata and Gordon, they're going through the whole bankruptcy thing, and what is it? You know what? It was the dad from Smart Guy, who's like the guy who they have to go before, and so Renata, she just always extra, and there's a hearing they're going through. He's going through the list of their assets, like everything that they have listed. And so then he says, I see this medical procedure for $4,200. Where'd that come from? What's that for? And so basically she's talking about she had to, you know, get a little nip tuck, a little tuck here. And so he just got mad after that, yo. After that, baby, he took her ring. He took my man Gordon's Rolex. He took the damn car. I said, petty much? You taking the car too? And so I guess she ended up getting her ring back since he took the car. But you could tell that she's upset. And she was just like, you know what, Gordon? I am going to make you pay for this. Like, I really am. But you lucky today is Amabella's birthday party, because it would have been your ass. This is basically what she's telling him. And so they're having this conversation, and you know, when they're having a party, Gordon comes up to her like, will you be able to forgive me? And she's just like, you know what? Like, I blame myself for even putting myself in a position to fall in love with you, be with you, to have you like basically ruin my life. She's like, I'm a horrible picker. I'm not good at selecting, you know, the right people in my life. And so you can tell like afterwards when she's kind of staring into the mirror that ultimately she's going to have to make a decision. Is she going to move forward from this, or is this something that they can't come back from? And I think she might leave him. I'm just not sure, because I can tell that she loves him, even the sentiment that she had with wanting to keep her wedding ring, but you can tell it is just too much. And the fact that all she wanted was to have a family, to have a good life for her child, and to give her child like anything that she wanted, and the fact that she can't do that, it really bothers her. And especially since she came from nothing and made everything she was, and to have this man take it away from her, you know, that's a lot for her to really deal with. So I'm interested to see how all of this is going to play out. But, you know, Renata ain't being shit, because you saw the homegirl, the detective, went to go talk to Renata and Madeline, and she was unfazed, not bothered whatsoever. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell this detective was up to. You've been snooping for like 4 episodes. We only got like a few more episodes left. What you gonna do? You got a case? You don't have a case? Like, chop chop. Let's get to it. So we'll talk about Madeline next. Actually, no, we can talk about Bonnie, because Bonnie really don't have nothing going on. There's really her mother that has something going on. So I see her mother still ain't left. She's still there. She's at the birthday party at Renata's. And so she was looking real cute, though. I was like, hey, mama, I like your wig and stuff. You was looking cute. And so she sees Bonnie talking to Madeline, Celeste, and Jane and Renata. And so she's basically telling her, like, hey, I saw you talking to your friends. There's just a bad energy about them. There's a bad energy surrounding you, and something is not right. She's telling her daughter, like, I know something's not right, and you're still not telling me. And so she starts holding her head, and I don't know what she was doing. Is her mama like, do her mama got supernatural powers? What's going on? Because I don't understand what's happening at this point, because her mom be having these flashbacks. We saw her like drowning her daughter like in the previous episode, like a vision of that. And then this episode, we see that Bonnie has flashbacks of her mother shaking her. But in the midst of all of this, she ends up having a stroke at the party. She passes out, goes to the hospital. She has to have surgery. And so her dad comes in, her husband comes in, Bonnie's dad, because I was wondering where he was. It's like, how mama here and the daddy not here, but whatever. So when he comes in, he's like, did you say something to her? And she was like, are you really trying to say that I caused my mother to have a stroke? Like, bruh, seriously? And so she just like leaves the room, because she's just like, she's basically just have had enough. And then she sees the detective talking to her mom's doctor, and then she like goes up to her like, are you effing kidding me? And then Jane grabs her like, girl, chill. She's not even here for you. She here for somebody else. There was a DUI fatality. And so she looking like, damn, because like it's just too much. But y'all peeped at the beginning of the episode, the little pumpkin carving party that Miss Mary Louise saw Bonnie. They was like, have you met Bonnie? She was like, no, I think I would remember if I would have met her. And I was like, oh snap, y'all in trouble now, because y'all know Bonnie is the weakest one, and she already been struggling with everything that is going on. So I just don't know how I feel about her storyline. I just really want a lot more to happen with her. And now instead of focusing like on necessarily her, it's just on her mother, and us trying to figure out what did her mom do to her when she was younger. I still don't know, but I guess I'll just continue to go along with it. But we have to talk about my girl Madeline, who is having issues with Ed still after he's found out that she has cheated on him. And so, you know, he comes home and she's just acting like everything is fine. I was just like, Madeline, why are you talking to this man like he gives a damn about what you're upset about today? And so he says, like, you know, you always charge at your issues when you're angry, but you never charge at the issues with us. And so she tells him, well, the issue wasn't with us, the issue was with me. And so she asks Ed, do they want to go to, would he like to go to a couples workshop? He's basically ignoring her. And then her daughter comes with this like project basically saying her mother is unhinged, and which I absolutely cackled at. Even Ed had to give out a cackle while he was in the middle of his silent treatment. But we see that you know, they're still having issues. Like, Ed's there, he hasn't left her, but he's still mad at her, and you can clearly see that. And when they're at this party, Madeline tries to ease up the mood, say, hey, do you want to dance? And he's just like, I don't want to dance with you right now. I'm not, it's bad enough I gotta sit up here and fake it for all of Monterey. And she's like, no, we're not faking it. He's like, yes, we are. And so, you know, he was just like, I don't want to dance with you right now. But then, like, why did Nathan come? Nathan, leave Ed alone. I don't understand why Nathan bothers Ed. They need to, like, Ed, Nathan, you need to be worried about your wife who's still not okay. And I want them to write better for Nathan. He's another one that just has nothing to do whatsoever. Like, he's just there in a scene with Bonnie or in a scene with Nathan. They just have no idea, like, what to do with him. And so he starts saying, like, man, I've been there. I don't know if Nathan knows what happened, that Madeline cheated. I'm not sure about that. But Ed was just like, just shut up talking to me. And then he's like, don't tell me to shut up. And then they start fighting. And I was just like, y'all, we at this girl's birthday party. Renata had to get in between them. I'm like, where are your wives to get in between you guys in the first place? And then when Nathan was just like, we was just playing. I was like, Nathan, I did have to laugh at that. But I was like, y'all were not playing. Grow the hell up. Leave Ed alone. Stop talking to Ed. You need to be checking Ed as why the hell he keep always trying to talk and dance with Bonnie, because he was dancing with Bonnie at the party. And I'm like, sir, I understand you're mad at Madeline. Go find somebody else who ain't got no husband to dance with. You're doing the most. Just like when him and Bonnie were talking, I was just like, y'all whole relationship is just so disrespectful. Bonnie, weren't you just uncomfortable with him the first season when he was trying to talk to you? Now all of a sudden y'all buddy, y'all chum. I just really have issues with that. But I do appreciate that, you know, Madeline has this discussion with Ed, like, you know, after she comes back from the hospital with Bonnie talking about putting things in perspective. And she's just like, if you're going to leave me, just like, let me know what you're trying to do. Because like this, I can't take this. And he was like, I'm here. And she's like, you're not here. Like, you're physically here. But mentally, no, you're doing the most. Like, there's nothing in your behavior that shows that you're trying to make this work, that you're trying to stay, that you don't hate my guts. Like, there's nothing there. And I actually appreciated her for saying that, even though she's in the wrong for what she did. But it doesn't, like, Ed, you need to grow up and decide, are you going to work on your marriage, or you're going to leave and just move on, like, make a decision. And so we saw that she tried to have sex with him, and he kind of, you know, rolled over. But then she starts thinking about Odu, who she was having an affair with. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Because if you keep rejecting someone, and clearly she says she has issues that stem from her being a child and walking into her dad cheating on her mother, I'm not sure, you know, what that's going to end up, you know, with. But we got to talk about Celeste and Mary Louise, okay? So Mary Louise just been on one since the beginning of the episode. She invited herself to the pumpkin carving that she wasn't invited to. And I was shocked that Mary Louise even let her in her house. Because I'd have been like, I'm protecting my energy. You can't come into my house whatsoever. No, thank you. Good day to you. You weren't invited. But she lets her come in, and then she was just like, you know, how she looked when she saw Bonnie. I was shook. Bonnie should have been shook. And then also, too, when she kind of says, like, oh, all my grandchildren are here. And I'm just like, Mary Louise, like, you have zero chill. This is not the time or the place. But I was a little disturbed when we saw one of the twins. He had like blood on his pumpkin and a little like a knife in it. I was just like, that's too much. I just, your daddy just had a bad effect on you. But we see that when she tells all of them that, she tells Jane that she's moving in the same building as her, Celeste is just like, girl, can we talk? Ma'am, you're doing too much. You're literally moving into the building that of your son's rape victim. And she was just like, rape victim? She was like, hold up. I don't think this one no rape. She's still in her mind, like, she doesn't believe her son could be, you know, do any of these bad things. And so she's just like, I'm not so sure that it's rape. And then she was like, you know, what was he doing? Like, was he with other women? You know, what was he trying to seek refuge from? Why were they together? Like, you know, if it was one, then there's many others. And then Celeste slapped the shit out of her. I was like, oh! And then but the way my girl Mary Louise came back, she slapped the damn glasses off of her. But the way she came back, she's like, oh, what do we call that? Foreplay? I said, Mary, you are too much, but you give me all my life. The way she came back like that, and then clearly she's using this to make her case, as we see when she tries to go for custody of the boys. And so she walks off, and then later they meet up. I don't know if it's the same day or the next day. And so basically she's just telling her, they meet up and she says that she's worried about the boys. You know, she just cares about their well-being. And then she starts telling her about how, like, after Perry's dad left, you know, because their son died, Perry's younger brother, you know, he basically left and he started his own other family. Like, and she just realized, like, they could grieve, but they just couldn't grieve together. Like, sometimes you have to do that separately. And how Perry blamed her for their dad leaving, which I hope we kind of get more into Perry's backstory, his childhood, how he grew up, with a backstory with Mary Louise. I really hope that I get to see that so we can really understand why Mary Louise is the way she is, but also too how Perry became who, you know, became who he was as well. And so so basically she's going to meet with an attorney because she's concerned about the boys. And so I was like, hey Dennis, my boy Dennis from This Is Us. And also too, he's also, actually he's on The Good Wife, he was on True Blood, he was on American Horror Story. He's in all my favorite shows. And so it's nice to see him, that he's her family law attorney who's handling the custody battle. And then he tells her to call all these other lawyers. So basically Celeste wouldn't be able to handle them. I was just like, you are really shady. And even Mary Louise was looking like, sir, like, I'm trying to get custody of the kids, but it ain't that deep for me. And so we see that she's kind of having reservations about this. And Eve, he asks her, do you want to do this? But everything comes to a head when Celeste is at the bar drinking, and then she took her damn Ambien again. And so she takes an Ambien and she wakes up, she's like, don't know where she is. Mary Louise comes with the boys, and then all of a sudden she says she's not feeling good, and she's like, oh shit, you don't have a fever. And I'm thinking like, well damn, maybe she drunk. Then the bartender come out the damn room, and I was just like, well I'll be damned. The bartender come out, she's like, well, who do we have here today? And so basically, you know, she took her Ambien. She couldn't even remember at first what happened. Everything was awkward. And so Mary Louise comes back after she drops the boys off and basically says like, look, I'm worried. What you have going on, you don't have everything together. So you should just let the boys come stay with me until you can figure things out. She says, absolutely not. And she's just like, look, child, I ain't got time to mess with you today. So here are the papers. This is just a courtesy for you. And so, she gets upset, and so then she basically walks out. Celeste goes to her therapist to basically talk about this. She gets mad at the therapist because the therapist would be telling like, this doesn't end well for anyone. Like, it doesn't matter who wins. Everybody loses in a situation like this. And so she just basically gets upset. And then we really end the episode when we see Bonnie's mom waking up from her surgery, and she's waking up because she's having a dream in which she actually sees Bonnie drowning, and that's what wakes her up, and then the episode goes off. So overall for me, this was definitely another filler episode. Like, a lot happened between Mary Louise and Celeste, but there really wasn't that much more growth for any of the other characters. Like, we're going through what is happening with them, but I don't think it's anything necessarily that we needed to dive that deep into. I am interested to learn more about Bonnie's mama. Is she supernatural? What is she doing? She can see these visions. She can feel energy. I don't know what the hell is going on, but we only got a few episodes left, so we need to chop, make sure that we giving us our hour-long episodes and not these 45-minute episodes, and really have some meat to it. It's a limited series, so a lot is supposed to happen at all times. But those are my thoughts on Big Little Lies Season 2, Episode 4, She Knows. As always, my name is Sharana from Pay Your Weight. If you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. I'll see you soon.